Kandy. Welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be like a story time type thing. I'm gonna talk about kind of a dating horror story that I've had come in the last few months. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. To preface this, I'm not doing this for sympathy. I'm not doing this to like, I'm not gonna expose who this person is, but you know, I want to talk about it in case someone else has had this sort of situation, and maybe we can all find clarity together. I'm gonna do my makeup while I do this, and I have some notes written down so I could keep my, you know, story in line, because I tend to get, you know, so it's Monday, it's Labor Day, I'm at home, the cats are running around, so you'll see them. My laundry is sitting right here ready to go in the washing machine when I'm done here, and I'm gonna do my makeup because I want to film some videos today. So anyway, I also thought this might keep me a little bit distracted so I didn't get too into the story and, you know, get upset or something. Alright, so oh, it's the garbage truck. I couldn't figure out what the noise was outside. Usually not here when the garbage trucks go by. Actually it's the recycling truck if we want to get, you know, technical. So anyway, during my birthday week, I met a guy online, or he messaged me. I'm on this website. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it specifically caters towards people who enjoy fat women and fat men. Okay, and so usually I don't talk to what I call gray faces, which is people without a profile picture and who don't like fill out their profile, you know, fully. I have this really bad dry patch on my eye. It's so annoying. And so like he sent me a message, it was very nice, and I was like, thanks, and I didn't really give him a time of day, and he's like, would you like to talk? And I was like, sure, I'm bored today. At this time I was like in quarantine because my roommate had been exposed to someone with COVID, and so we were waiting for his test results to get back. This was all at that time, so it was right around my birthday, and he was very nice. And we just started having a regular conversation, and I was like, well, I usually don't talk to gray faces. He's like, well, here's a picture, I just don't like to post it online. I was like, okay, cool. So he sent me a picture, and he was good looking, and like an older guy. What did I do with that concealer? How did I lose a concealer? Did I put it in here? I did. I threw it in with the... Anyway, so we started talking, and it was fine, and he gave me his phone number the very first day, and I was like, oh, I really don't like to give my phone number out, you know, until I talk to someone for a little while. And he goes, well, now you have it in case you want to text me. And I was like, okay. So that was on like the 5th or the 6th, and we talked online for, you know, the weekend and stuff, and then on Monday, I decided to go ahead and text him. So I texted him, I was like, hey, this is me, get out. And, you know, hi, I hope you have a great week, you know? And so we, ow, sis. Now I feel like I'm getting too distracted. So we texted back and forth throughout the day and just, you know, getting to know each other and stuff. Really. He's 48 years old, so he's, you know, about 10 years older than me, 9 years older than me. It actually comes out to be like 9.5. And, you know, I usually don't go for older guys, but like I said, he was very nice and polite, and we were having good conversation. We had things in common that we enjoyed talking about, but we also, you know, could learn things from each other. And the conversations were going really great, and starting on like that Monday or Tuesday, or that Tuesday or Wednesday, he wanted to do phone calls because he preferred to talk on the phone than to text. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And so the first couple calls were, you know, half hour, 45 minutes, and then they became these 2-hour conversations that we would have every night. And we would talk when we got home from work for a little while, and then we would talk before bed. And it was really nice to get to know someone and have intelligent conversations with someone, and it felt really good. And so we were getting to know each other and stuff, and our first Skype conversation was on the 22nd, so about 11 days after we started texting. We finally decided to video chat. And so we start video chatting, and our routine was when we got home from work, well, he works from home right now because of COVID, but when I would get off work and I would get home and he would, you know, be settled from his day, we would hop on Skype and talk for like 2 hours after work. And then we would go and like do our evening chores or, you know, whatever else we needed to do for a little bit. And then before bed, we would talk for another couple hours. And we were doing this every single night. We were getting to know each other. It was like really good conversation, and it didn't turn sexual very often. Like, of course we talked about sex and stuff, but like we never did like video sexting stuff. Because it just felt weird, and we both agreed that we were old enough that like we didn't need to do that. And so we would just talk about so many things, and we disagreed on stuff, and we had passionate discussions about things, and I was able to put my opinion out there without being like completely told I was wrong. And I just really enjoyed talking to him, and we grew to this really nice relationship. And about a month in, about 3 weeks to a month in, he told me he loved me. And I was like, wow, well that's fun. Like, I wasn't sure how to handle that, but I was like, okay, like, I can't say that at this moment, but I do really like you. And so about a week after he told me, I said it to him too. And so we had decided that we were gonna meet up, and he lives in Arizona. And it's a 22-hour drive from his place to my place. And he was putting in for vacation, so he's like, well, I think I'm going to take 2 weeks vacation, and I'm gonna come see you for a week, and then I'm gonna go back to Chicago and see my daughter. I was like, okay, cool, that would be amazing. And so we had made a plan, and he was gonna drive here, he was gonna leave his house on Thursday the 25th of June, and then he would be here sometime on the 26th. So that Friday he would be here like in the evening. He had planned on driving all the way through. So up until then, we're like really excited. We're talking about it. We're talking about where he wants to go, what he wants to do. My mom's birthday is during that time, so he wants to meet my family and, you know, stuff like that. And like I said, we got to know each other very, very well, because like we were talking every night for hours and hours. And so I was nervous, but you know, we had talked about like everything. We had talked about my marriage and his kid, and we've talked about our families. He's, you know, one of his brothers had committed suicide, and we had talked about that. And it was like, I felt very connected to this person. And so I was so excited to meet him. So Thursday night, we're on Skype at 6 p.m. He's getting ready to leave his house. He shows me his bag. You know, we're talking on Skype, and I said, okay, well, be very careful, and, you know, check in with me often, and I love you, and I'll see you soon. And that was 6 p.m. And I sent him, let's see, throughout, like, Thursday night, I had tried to call him, and I texted him at like 8 o'clock and like 10:30. 8 o'clock I was like, hey, just checking in. And at like 10:30 I was like, hey, I'm going to bed because I have to work tomorrow. but you know, check in with me, call me, something, my phone will be right by my bed. And I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything all Friday. And I didn't hear anything until, what was it? Yeah, Friday night I sent one at 5 o'clock that said, I'm really worried about you. And then Saturday morning I started talking to some of my friends, and I had one of them text him to see if he would text back, because she has a totally different number from, she has a Vegas number. And he was like, I don't know who you are, what do you want? And so I knew he was alive because I had been checking, I knew what route he was taking, so I was checking like traffic cameras, I was like checking for accidents, like I was freaking out. And I finally heard from him at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. And so that was, what, 24, 30, 40 hours. 40 hours after he had left his house. And I was so upset. I have the text here because I took screenshots, and I was like, dude, what happened? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? And he said he made it to Cali. Being married still bothers me. Yes, I know your circumstances and why you're separated. Why didn't, I was like, why didn't you say that before? We've talked about this. You said it didn't bother you. Like, I have like a hair somewhere. There it is. We've had like in-depth discussions about this. He's like, well, I didn't realize it until, you know, I left. And I was like, okay. And so we talked back and forth, and I was like, you know, if this is what you want, that's fine. You know, I get it. You know, I'm not going to argue with someone to be in my life. Like, if you want to be in my life, be in my life. If you don't, don't. And he had messaged me, and he had apologized, and, well, he never actually said, I'm sorry. He goes, I do take full responsibility for this. And I'm like, okay. And so he began messaging me again, like, just like, look, I'm really sorry. This is, you know, I got cold feet. We finally had like an in-depth phone conversation. He's like, I got cold feet. I got scared that this could actually be real, blah, blah, blah. You know, all the stuff. And so I was like, listen, you know, oh man, my face is so dry. I should have moisturized today. I said, you know, I can understand that, but I wish you'd been more communicative and, you know, told me. And he's like, I know, I fucked up. I fucked up. And so we began talking again, and I agreed to give him another chance. Because in my book, everybody gets 2 chances. And so we began talking again, and I kind of got over it, and I accepted his apology, and we got back to where we were. We got back to just being us and, like, you know, whatever. And so things were going really good again. And this was about like mid-July. You know, it took me a couple weeks. And he's like, well, I have vacation at the end of September, or at the end of August for Labor Day. Why don't I try and come again? And I said, okay, but like, this is all on you. I go, you're gonna have to prove to me that like, you're not an asshole like I thought you were. And he's like, no, I fucked up. I learned from my lesson. This will never happen again. Okay. So we went back to the talking every day after work, being on Skype. He had Skyped with Brittany, like she'd been here when we had talked. When I was at my sister's house for that bachelorette party, everybody talked to him on Skype because he was going to be here in like a couple weeks. And they, you know, even though my sister was pissed off at what had happened the first time, she was being supportive, and she was like, okay, he's got to prove to us that he's not, you know, a dick to you. I was like, no, he's great. He really is. Like, he treats me very nicely. I love that we have, whoops, these in-depth conversations, and we can argue about politics and learn from each other, and I just love that about him. And he has all these weird conspiracy theories. Sissy, you need to get down. Hey, get down. Harriet, get down. I don't mean sit down. So like we've had these very lovely conversations, and I enjoyed talking to him, and like, I don't know, I looked forward to talking to him after work every night, and I looked forward to finding out more about him, and possibly, like, we had talked about starting a life together. He was gonna move here and all this stuff, and it seemed so genuine. And then he's supposed to be here this weekend, and he left at 6 o'clock on Friday night, and I didn't hear from him all Friday night and all of Saturday. Well, most of Saturday, because at about 12:30 I had sent messages, I had sent voicemails, I had had Brittany call, nothing. And I sent him a message and I said, if I don't hear from you by 2 o'clock, consider yourself completely out of my life and blocked forever. And at like 1 o'clock he sent a message. I have to find it. Okay, so 6 o'clock he left his house. He said, leaving in a few minutes. He said, be safe, check in with me. And he said, love, my Christy. I said, I love you too. 8:15, checking in. 10:24, please let me know you're okay. 2:04 a.m., don't do this to me again. 7:20 a.m., this is absolutely not okay. 11:05, give me your address, I'm coming to you. And then at 12:30, the address, or the message that said, if you don't talk to me by 2 p.m., consider yourself blocked and out of my life forever. And at 1:26 p.m., better off not knowing me. And I said, what the fuck happened? And he didn't answer. And at 1:30, I said, I want answers now. And at 2:39, he said, you'll find someone better for you. And I said, you're an asshole, and I hope you don't find happiness because you don't deserve it, which I regret sending that because I shouldn't have got rude and mean. But I was so mad. Like, so mad. And it, like, the first time I bawled my eyes out, like, hard sobbed. Yeah. And so my boss, the whole time that I'm like, oh, Tony's gonna be here next week, he's like, yeah, if he shows up again. I was like, don't put that juju on me. And it happened again. And it's ridiculous. And I don't understand how a grown-ass adult says all these things and won't follow through on stuff. Because he had told me, he goes, no, the marriage thing wasn't really a big deal. I just got cold feet and that was the easiest thing for me to tell you. And I'm like, okay. We hadn't, like, hardly argued about anything. Like, obviously we'd had heated discussions about stuff, about like politics and things like that, because we had sort of different views. And he's older than me, and I felt like sometimes I needed to educate him on like what's actually going on in the world, and not just, you know, a conspiracy theory on things. And so we learned from each other, and we, like I said, had educated and lovely discussions. And then he does this, and I guess it's more of a, hey girls, don't let this happen to you. Like, there were a few red flags. His number is unlisted, but he works for the phone company, so I get that. I couldn't find a lot of information about him online, like nothing. And you would think someone would have some sort of record when, you know, he told me his parents' names, where they lived, like what city, his brothers and sisters' names, his child's name, his ex-wife's name, and her maiden name. Like, that's how much I knew about him. I know his birthday and stuff, but I still couldn't find anything online. And so that was sort of like always in the back of my mind, kind of nagging that maybe this whole time he wasn't telling the truth. And like, how did I let myself get played? Because I'm not stupid. You know, I've been on the internet. Like, but shit. I don't know. I must have got all the tears out because I thought I might cry telling you guys this story. But I think I'm okay now. I did a little bit of crying on Saturday, and Brittany came over and kind of, you know, hung out with me, and it was kind of a strange night because we got food and we were drinking and we were watching movies, and then we went outside and sat around like we always do. But neither one of us were kind of our, like, talkative selves, so we just kind of hung out together. I was like, I'm sorry I'm not very entertaining tonight. She's like, girl, I just like being up here, like, just hanging out with you. And I appreciate her so much doing that for me and hanging out with me when I was having a real bad time. I was having a real bad time. But, you know, I don't know. I guess I need to learn to trust my gut a little bit better when I can't find things online about someone, or I don't really know. I don't really know what to do from here. I mean, obviously, he's blocked. I give people second chances, but you don't get a third chance. And I told him that. I was like, you don't get a third chance with me. So don't fuck this up again. Stop putting your claws in my leg, please. And yeah, haven't heard anything else from him. So, well, he's blocked, but my blocked message folder would show me. So yeah, that's my love and loss of the summer, I guess. That's been taking a lot of my time because, you know, when you feel something is good for you, you try to cultivate that relationship, and that's what I was doing. So, you know, it's just, yeah. So, me and the cats, we're just gonna be together forever. We don't need a cat dad, do we? No. She's gonna chew on my hair. She's not used to it being down. So anyway, yeah, that's my story, and I hope I don't stick to it. But, you know, the thing that I love about myself is I'm just gonna pick myself up and wipe off the dust and get back out there, because I do believe that there's someone out there for me. And, you know, in the meantime, we're just gonna chill. Yeah. Alright, me and Harriet are saying goodbye. You say bye, babe. Bye, guys. It's biting me. I love yous. Thanks for swinging by, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. And somebody will love me someday. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon.